not APIs, right? So this information again, I took from ChatGPT, this how they communicate, put it into Napkin AI, and now Napkin AI told me that when we give a prompt, ChatGPT receives it, forwards it to GPT-4, GPT-4 sends to DALL-E, DALL-E generates the image is sent back to GPT-4, then it comes to me through ChatGPT. So this is how APIs would work. Ladies and gentlemen, sir, can we have that switch? This is a very profound, I would say, switch.
Yeah. So when we are asking for a lesson plan for pharmacokinetics, those who've been doing the medical education workshops and being taught, you can see the lesson plan, which I've just done it, by the way, just typed it. Can you please help me with the lesson plan for undergraduate students? Lesson plan, duration, objective. By the end of the lesson, the student should be able to understand, describe, lesson outline, what are the 10 minutes, 4 key processes. I don't know if it's right. Soon you will know better. Finally, it also has a Q&A summary and an assessment plan. So that's the power of how you can use Gen AI, not only for learning, but even teaching. As teachers also, you can sort of use it.
But if I want it to make an infographic or lesson plan, it will not come up with such a good thing because it is not pre-trained with that. So let's use whatever is optimum in a particular given context. So I'm sure there'll be some flaws who cause in this lesson plan also, but that's okay. At least you had rough draft. This, ladies and gentlemen, I would request you to pay a lot of attention. This is, I would say, the crux of what I want to talk about. So when GPT-1 started from here, it had some 10 to the power 5, 6 parameters, right? An ant's brain had about 10 to the power 8 parameters. So it was inferior to the ant's brain when it started off. Over a period of time, GPT-4 now has around 10 to the power 12 parameters, which is still less than the human brain, which is supposed to be around 10 to the power 14. Now, let me give a disclaimer. I'm really not sure of the scientific accuracy of this slide, but the information which comes out of it is that GPT-4 is still behind human brain. More parameters mean more computational power, more faster power. So human brain can still compute this delta more than ChatGPT. Okay, coming to this one. Let's say this is the 10 to the power 9 are the words which any individual would read or hear or see in his lifetime. The format may change. I used to read with books. My students read on the tablet, but ultimately it's words or figures. मैंने भी इतनी देखे होंगे, मेरे स्टूडेंट भी इतनी देख रहे हैं. टाइम तो उतना ही 24 ही घंटे, it's not increased, right? So when GPT-1 started off, it started off after having perused almost 10 to the power 11 words. Today, GPT-4 has perused almost about 10 to the power, sorry, it was, somewhere nearby. And this box, 10 to the 13, is supposed to be the entire repository of whatever has been written or made so far. So, human brain is not open to much data. It has not been exposed to a lot of data, but it can analyze this data faster and better. GPT-4, on the other hand, has been exposed to a lot of data, but still it cannot compute it as well as a human brain. In military terms, if I say, GPT-4 is an army who has large number of soldiers, but no modern weaponry, while a human brain is more like a lean mean fighting machine. It may have less soldiers by way of having read less number of words, but it has got fantastic weaponry. You can imagine when these two armies work in tandem, then God save the enemy. That's what I want to drive. You cannot let GPT-4, just because it is read so many papers, it's not able to compute. So sit over it. rather than sitting under it. You know, so still you need to compute. Let's harness what's God has given us, and that's fantastic computational power by way of large number of parameters. Since we also need to sleep, right, for 8 hours a day, that's why we are not able to read as many papers as ChatGPT-4, but that's fine. So the idea is to combine power of two armies. So what is the ethical tenet? I think Dr. Sanyal is going to talk about. I will not say. So 3H: helpful, honest, harmless. So in that sense, when I was prompting it, it was helpful. Of course, it gave me some. It was honest, fine. It must have been not honest in the sense, not truthful, but honest in what it says. It said कि यार मुझे पता नहीं है, ये मत पूछिए. And it was harmless. It never said that I am a balding, aging skirt chaser, right? Okay. So this is one algorithm. When you can use GPT-4 or ChatGPT, what applies to this also applies to other language models. So does it matter if the output is true? Yes, it does matter, right? Who is the president of, let's say, who is the Gram Pradhan of the next village? Even if it is false, it won't matter to you or me much, you know. So we can use ChatGPT. But if it matters to us, then we have to say, do you have the expertise to verify that output is accurate? If you do not have the expertise to see whether output is accurate, don't use it. I'm no architect. I should not use ChatGPT to make architectural designs for me. I'll not be able to correct it. Now, unfortunately, we use ChatGPT in those domains more where we don't know anything. So this, I think, is a very prescient lesson which I got from this. So anybody who wants to look at AI or looking at AI, please view this video of Yuval Noah Harari. I think it came yesterday, day before. Fantastic. I'll not know the detail what it says. Please watch this. So this is Gartner's hype cycle. Again, I'll skip because some time. Okay, fine. So this is my ode to ChatGPT. Please, I'll just read it out. I'm sure it will make an interesting reading. When I started using about 4 months back to make my PPT, so I said, thanks a lot, ChatGPT, for helping me make these slides. Thanks, but no thanks. I invested more time. I had to alter 90% of what you gave me. My wife says it's still like, exactly like why I go for cooking. I create more mess and less food. I guess you are just like me in my younger days, full of potential, promise, energy, alacrity, but seldom producing what my HOD wanted. Right? I haven't lost hope. Maybe we need to understand each other more. Something my wife still expects out of me. Maybe we can still work together. Either you smart enough or I'll dumb myself down. It's really difficult for me to dumb myself down because I'm a doctor. And thanks for telling me that we should not drink water while in high altitude. This would surely save water, but not my soldiers. This was the advice when that ChatGPT gave me when I asked about how to survive high altitude. So this is known as hallucination, going off rails. It gave me a whole lot of summary, and in that summary was inserted this very harmful line that tell your soldiers not to drink water. If I'm no expert, I'll not be able to correct it. Anyways, so now my ode to ChatGPT yesterday evening is this. Thanks a lot, ChatGPT, for helping me make these slides. You were of some help at last. I ended up saving some time and could invest it in ideation. I could think. Though I had to alter 60% of what you gave me. Earlier it was 90, now it is 60. My wife says, I can at least fend for myself when she's away. But who would want to eat home food when the wife is away? Swiggy, Zomato, Zindabad. I guess you're not realizing what I want and in what form. I am hopeful that we will co-work more. Maybe we need to understand each other's limitations. You are a smart nigam. And I'm also realizing that being a doctor doesn't make you smart by itself. And please understand that when I do not talk to you, I'm angry. And thanks for telling me that I'm intelligent. Maybe tell me something new next time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I wanted to talk about for ChatGPT in general and large language.
Thank you, Praful. We'll have a few questions. Can you just switch over to my computer? So the first question has already been asked. We'll just try to answer him. So his question was, if the same question is asked to the AI bot, correct me if I'm wrong, does the answer change? That was the question?
Yes.
लोग बोले तो शायद करेक्ट ही होगा, maybe. ये क्या बोलता देखते हैं. So it depends on the model That is if it is a static or a dynamic model. Now, for example, Gemini also has a feature where it is actually capturing data on the fly from the websites of the world. So it might actually change. It also depends on certain other things. For example, the way with the clarity with which you ask. Okay. There's one more thing which is very interesting. I was just trying to talk about it, and that's, will a viral social media change your response? Suppose there is something viral on this thing. Will it change your response? So yes, potentially what you're saying theoretically is yes, but look at the last line, probably it will say the same thing. Single is unlikely to cause. However, this is something like a drop in the ocean. The number of data sets which or points it has is huge. So it's 200 tweets or something, it's not going to really change things. But at the same time, asking who's the chief minister of a particular state does change. So there is obviously some, it's not prediction any longer. So there is some more intelligence than just simple data and this thing which is kept.
So because that is what the allegation has been, because that is how election have been modified.
Yeah, so that's what you're talking is social media trends.
Yes,
and
because
how
if
social
AI
media can make a post viral.
Yes, if 10,000 bots post the same thing, it becomes viral and AI starts to say the same thing again. So
exactly, that's what we are saying. So yes. So when you're doing search engine optimization, this is what you're doing. Yeah, another question now.
Sir, mind-boggling talk, Colonel Praful, sir. Give us insight about generative AI. See, quoting from your slides, Colonel Praful sir's personal attributes. Is it fair it should be on public domain? So what I mean is, even controlling the copyright, sir, there is something origin of every thought or every content or anything we prepare or anything is available on the website. But is there anything, something like that?
Should I answer this?
Yeah, please, please.
So you're talking about the that it was referring to my publication, so that's what you're referring about?
What we are speaking, like, see, you are your attributes, they're personal about you, but why it should come to public? What I mean to say is there someone controlling the copyright issues? Somebody has made something.
I think that's a very nuanced question, sir. As I understand how a generative AI system would gather, I would say, inputs for it, article published in Nature and a news item published in a local Pune newspaper like Pudhari, frankly, won't have any difference unless it has been pre-trained to bias and give more weightage to the articles published in a Nature article. So if you want to see more of it, there's AI known as connected papers. So that is something even more profound. If you say that, okay, give me 10 articles on smoking and depression and obesity. So it'll give you a whole lot of papers with a whole lot of information. Now, what is copyrighted, what is not, how it is going, that's frankly beyond my, I would say, expertise. Yeah.
So that's the answer which is trying to give. That the intention is if it's behind a paywall, it will not capture. However, if it has been shared, it will capture. There's no way to stop it. At the same time, whether what is coming out is copyrighted is also a very debatable thing, especially for editors, when the thing is being submitted to you. And what is very important is that now with more and more generative AI creating music, creating text, creating pictures, creating videos, this scenario is getting more and more complex. So we have to start thinking in a very different way instead of thinking of pure copyrights.
Yes, excellent talk, very inspiring, as said by others. So my question to you is very simple. So I am an engineer by background and working on AI in healthcare. So when you gave this presentation, I got to learn a lot of things. So there are two things. One is when you use ChatGPT in low stake area and you use technology in high stake area. Now question to you is where a lot of things are to lose. Being a doctor, can you give examples where you have used AI and technology where there were a lot of things to lose, means the stakes were very high and this technology helped you out?
Frankly speaking, let me confess that AI and myself, we are